Hello, hello. We are live. Welcome to my Lunch and Learn. Okay, we are all set. Perfect. I am here with you each and every week to help you explore topics that are going to elevate your mindset, be at your best, and radically expand your life and business. I am so looking forward today because we're talking about abundance and scarcity mindsets. We're going to look at how they're manifesting in your life and what you can actually do about them. So, if you want a rich and fulfilling life where you have the freedom to be, do, and have anything you want, you have a life full of love, laughter, connection, joy, and you see things that just always seem to be working out for you, things just work out in your favor, and so much more. That sounds appealing. This is for you. If not, you are in the wrong place. So I know that some of you know me and some of you don't. I'm Larissa McCook. I am a master results coach and CEO of Abundance Academy, where we help entrepreneurs, educators, managers, coaches, and consultants, real professionals whose external results tell the world they're successful, but on the inside, they know they're destined for more. They're craving something bigger. I help them overcome stress, overwhelm, anxiety, imposter syndrome, and self sabotage so they can really go after their dreams and have a life and business they want and love. They can truly love themselves, love their business, and love their lives once again. And that's really, really exciting. Okay. So I want to know where you are coming in from. If you are tuning in by replay, type in replay in the chat. And if this is your first time, type in first time in the chat because I want to thank you for being here. I truly do appreciate you and your presence. Now, there was a story just before we dive into this topic. I want to share a little story because years ago there was a flood. And every year there's floods and there's natural disasters that wipe out cities and wipe out communities, which is really not what we'd like. However, I remember there was this one time, this one story I saw of news reporters interviewing different couples after this flood. And there was this one couple that just lost everything. And they were being interviewed and their house was gone. And they felt like this was probably the biggest tragedy they'd ever undergone. And it probably was. It was tragic. They were crying. They were hopeless. They didn't know what to do. And they were so longing for the life they had that they couldn't see 3 feet in front of them. 2 minutes later, the camera goes over to another couple just down the street, same community, same flood, just down the street. And they also had lost their house. And when they were being interviewed, they're like, yeah, our house is gone. And they were asked how they felt about it. And they said, the most important things in our lives, yeah, even though our house is gone, it's sad, but the most important things in our lives are living on. We are safe, our family's safe, we're here together. And, we feel truly blessed that we have this opportunity to at least rebuild and start again. Right? Yes, we'd love our old house. However, we know that the most important things are right here, right now, and we have so much more life to live ahead of us. And they were looking forward to their new adventure. Sometimes in the midst of craziness and chaos, we need to look at things from a different perspective, right? And why am I sharing this with you? Why am I even sharing this little story with you? Because both couples were in the same situation, yet they had a very different experience. And I want you to realize as we talk about abundance, as we talk about scarcity, I want you to realize that your perception, right? Your perception of your current reality is going to dictate that reality. It really is the perspective you take on things. And wherever you are right now, if you are thriving in your life or if things may not be going as you anticipated, I want you to realize that all it takes is this. Like your life can change that fast in a heartbeat. And you can change your experience immediately by changing your perspective, by changing your outlook on life. And this is something we study in our Abundance Accelerator program each and every week. It's actually this today's topic about abundance and scarcity was actually inspired by my group call on Monday, where we looked at this topic with this theme. It's very simple, it's very profound, yet we found some really doable ways to increase our awareness of what's possible. And it really does start with awareness. And sometimes you need to go to external sources like this talk or my Abundance Accelerator program or something else to give yourself that wake up call. So ask yourself, do you want to live a rich and fulfilling life? A life that is full of abundance, full of plentiful relationships, beautiful experiences, money, health, and so much more. Does that sound appealing to you? Do you want that? And when I say the word, and let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. Does that sound good to you? When I say the word abundance, do your ears perk up and go, I think I want to hear more. I'd like more of that in my life. Are you ready to actually see yourself step away from scarcity and begin living with more ease, joy, and flow in the midst of peak experiences that totally light you up from the inside out? Right? That's what life is really, truly about. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about scarcity versus abundance and how you can get your mindset on track, because that's where it starts. That really is where it stems from. Okay. I am gonna, oh, there we go. We've got the chat. Oh, hello, Kristen. And I think that's Rick from Washington. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Now, I want to cover a couple of key concepts here. We've got this idea of abundance. So, what is abundance? Abundance is a very large quantity of something. It's plentifulness. It is plentifulness of the good things in life, prosperity, and an overflow. And it's not something that you need to actually seek or apply for, because you've actually got it. It's inside you. You are born with the ability to be abundant. Now, all you've got to do is activate it. You've got to acknowledge it and claim it, right? Let me know if you're ready to claim your abundance. Say, I claim it. Put that in the chat, because that is absolutely huge. Until you decide to activate your abundance and say, hey, abundance, I think I'd like more of you. Even if I have no idea where to start, that's why you're here. But you've got to make a decision that you want more. Scarcity, on the flip side, is the state of being scarce or in short supply. It's when things aren't good enough. Things are being taken away from you, and you're always afraid of losing things. This is the opposite of abundance. And this is something that a lot of us are unfortunately very familiar with, especially with many of our upbringings. I know I was certainly raised with a scarcity mindset. However, when I was aware of it, when I came to a talk like this, when I started joining masterminds, when I started connecting with coaches and other like-minded people, that all started to flip. Now, mindset is the established set of attitudes held by someone. Okay, these are your attitudes held by someone. And there's a speaker, one of the leading forerunners in the world of personal growth and development, Earl Nightingale. He said, if you have a good attitude, you'll get good results. If you have a bad attitude, you'll get bad results. And if you have a great attitude, you will get great results. And I see that many of you are ready to claim it. Yeah, claiming my enoughness. I claim it. I claim it. I claim it. I claim it. Absolutely. And I've decided to claim it. I love that, Kristen. That is beautiful. That's what you got to do, because you can't just show up and say, oh, I think I want to claim it. No, you have to actually decide to claim it. Everything is a decision. Now, my mentor, Bob Proctor, he's one of my phenomenal mentors. He recently passed away. However, he talks about when he was younger. When he was younger, he said, I had a bad attitude. And I'm sure we've all had a bad attitude time and time again. However, his bad attitude showed in his results, right? He had a bad attitude. He got really bad results. He didn't do a great job at work. He didn't show up and serve people. And when he started studying, there was a book called Think and Grow Rich that really works on the mind. It's not just about money. It's actually about changing your thinking to change your entire life. And he started working with mentors. Everything changed for him. And he went from earning $4,000 a year in the 1960s, and he owed $6,000, which is a lot more money. He went to by the end of the year, he was earning $14,500 a month. that's like 175,000 a year. And he dramatically increased his income because he started shifting his mindset and his set of attitudes. In that moment, he didn't know what he was doing, but he knew he had to figure it out, and he had to learn what was going on for real, because people would ask him what he was doing. And he couldn't answer them because he knew how to do it himself, but he couldn't replicate it. When he finally figured out what he had really done, it took him 10 years to figure out that one big piece of his pie. It was actually changing his mindset and changing his attitude. That was the underlying key. So when we're talking about abundance and scarcity, there is abundance in your life. There is scarcity in your life. I want you to really start thinking about, like, what mindset do I have towards it? What attitudes? What established attitudes do I have towards abundance and scarcity? So this might make sense to you, it might not yet. However, what you do know is you've been in scarcity at some point and it doesn't feel good. We've all been there. And so, what you need to know is there are three keys to shifting from scarcity to abundance. Okay, so you have three things that you want to do, you need to do to shift from scarcity to abundance mindset. And I'm going to just outline these three things, and then I'm going to walk you through them step by step. Okay, so I'll give them to you. If you're taking notes, you can jot them down, and then we're going to walk through them step by step. So, step one is awareness. Awareness of the possibilities. Know what's possible. Okay, so what are the possibilities out there? Okay, that's step one. Step two, self-awareness. You've got to know where you are at in the realm of possibilities. This is your moment of truth. You might like it, you might not. However, it is what it is. And until you know where you're at, you can't put a pinpoint in the map for step three, because step three is really deciding where you want to go. And this is where you're aiming for. That's that beautiful North Star. And that works best when you have clarity, when you have a plan and support from the right people and that accountability to help you get there. So we're going to talk about these three things: awareness of the possibility, self-awareness, and really deciding where you want to go and having that clarity, that support, and that accountability to get you there. Okay. So simple things, but I want you to really pay attention. So, like I tell my son, turn your listening ears on. And he's like, okay, mama, I finally listened to you, right? He's 5, he loves it. And it's so important for you to turn your listening ears on, because this is important stuff. So, awareness of the possibility. What is even possible? Okay. So, you want to know how scarcity can even show up in your life. How can it? Maybe scarcity isn't just lack of money. A lot of people think scarcity is like, I don't have enough money. Saying that, cancel, is a sign of scarcity. Saying anything that you don't have enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough friends. I don't have enough of anything. That's scarcity. So it really comes out in the words. What you focus on expands. What you're thinking about, what you're dreaming about, what you're paying attention to. And when you focus on the lack and what's not working, and you're bitching and complaining, I said that, yes. When you're in that complaining zone, you're in scarcity. Bottom line, you can either be in scarcity or you can be in abundance. You cannot be in both at the same time. You can only focus on one thing at a time, and that's really key for you to remember. You might be living in fear or in a suffering state. You might be avoiding doing things with others or purchasing things because they're too expensive. You might be like just hiding, right? When you start hiding or putting things off until a later date when the circumstances are hopefully right, that's a sign of scarcity. Maybe you have trouble letting go of things and you hoard things and you collect. You collect physical things, you collect relationships, you hold on to work you don't love, and even if it's not serving you, you're not ready to let it go. You're not willing to, because you're afraid. You are staying busy and in just stuff your life so full of things that you don't have time to actually enjoy it. And you're just coasting, you're just showing up in life. You have huge lists of things to do that probably never get done. Maybe you're living in a physical mess. Maybe you're living in an energetic mess. You have digital messes on your computer, like what's the state of your desktop or your folders? How about your financial life? Are they messy? Not throwing things away, right? When they're not broken, not throwing things away and not fixing them quickly if you actually intend to keep them. reacting to people and circumstances, feeling like there's never enough time, and maybe being really disorganized, not making payments on time. Things in what you say about people, right? About circumstances. These all demonstrate your belief system. So if there's something that you're like, oh, um, I can relate to that, then I want you to let me know, right? I want you to let me know, what can you relate to out of this scarcity mindset? Now, when you step into abundance mindset, right? When you step into this abundance thinking, you want to know what's possible in terms of abundance. Okay. Because abundance can show up in your life in many ways. And actually, in fact, it probably already does. So, how can abundance show up in your life? Well, you can be focusing on what you want, not on what you don't want. You can decide what it is that you truly, truly want. Yeah, Kristen, my desktop is a mess. Time to clean it up. Good self awareness. Okay. When you focus on abundance, what do you want? You could be living in a beautiful state where you're feeling good things most of your time, and you let that be your normal. You're not always like, I'm energetic, but you live in a pleasant world, you live a pleasant life, and your emotions are generally pretty positive. You have healthy habits that truly support you and your desires. You maintain an impeccable belief system. You know yourself better than anyone else, right? You don't rely on other people. You know yourself, and you can make decisions. You can speak up for yourself unapologetically. You check in with yourself and recalibrate and course correct when things don't go your way. You're like, hmm. Instead of reacting, you go, okay, what can I learn from this? What am I going to do next time to make it even better? You align with others that are a good influence on you. You connect to your highest powers, whether that's God, spirit, the divine. You take the time to actually be in quiet and speak to them, right? Prayer is when you speak to God. Intuition is when God speaks to you. It's a two-way conversation. Both require a little bit of quiet. You have an impeccable attitude. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions are all aligned, and they're getting you to the result because they are aligned. And you keep promises to yourself and to others. You clean up your messes, just like Kristen's planning on cleaning up her desktop, right? Whether they're energetic, financial, digital, relationships, whatever they are. You work by the law and you live it. You ask yourself intelligent questions. You live a holistic experience and use your emotions as a guide. They are not evidence of you achieving success. However, they are a really good guide. You pay your bills on time. You have a good and healthy relationship with money. You're happy to pay for things because you know that you're gifting other people the opportunity to stay employed. You use your time, money, and resources wisely and intelligently, and in ways that align with your inner self. Now, these are just some examples of living in abundance, right? That's awareness. Now that you know what scarcity and what abundance can look like, step 2 is self-awareness. Okay? Step 2 is self-awareness. So this is where you sit down and do the work, and you identify how scarcity and abundance are currently showing up in your life. So, like I said, how is scarcity showing up in your life? I want you to really look at how is abundance showing up in your life right now too. Drop one thing in the chat, and then take some time to really flush it out after this call. Make a note and take the time to really look at how it's playing out in your life, because until you do, you won't really know what's going on. You have no benchmark, you have no starting point. Now, step 3, decide where you want to go. Okay. You got to decide where you want to know. Go. This involves clarity, a plan, and support from the right people with the accountability to help you get there. Ask yourself, what would your life be like if you actually built it from a state of abundance? It is so, so, so important to be really crystal clear about that. Okay. It's really important to be crystal clear about what your life would actually be like if you lived it and built it from a state of abundance. And some of you I know have the answers, and others I know you'll be like, I have no idea. And that's okay. I've had people literally show up and go, I have no idea where to start. Well, that's why we help them create a map. That's why we help them really uncover that vision, because I was like that too. I didn't think I had an idea. And the truth is, it's actually in you. You just aren't know you're not sure where to look. right? This is why I went to coaches and mentors along the years. And so once you know what you want, then you know where you're at and you can start building a map and you can start building a plan to get you there. You need that crystal clear roadmap. And once you have that, you will start closing the gaps and start taking action from your mind, your body, your spirit, and move forward. And like I said, if you can't see it, it's sometimes difficult to read the label from inside the bottle, but that's okay, right? That's okay. That's why you're here, to get some other external feedback. That's why you go to mentors. That's why you have coaching calls. That's why you meet with other like-minded people, right? So clarity and a roadmap. Part two of this third step is people. You've got to be connected to the right people, right? When you're connected with the right people, they're gonna fuel you forward. They're gonna pick you up when you're down. They're gonna show up for you when you need a boost. They're gonna give you a kick in the backside. They're gonna support you and cheer you on and be your best cheerleaders. I've seen the value of this firsthand in the various groups I've been involved in. And I've personally invested more than $300,000 into peak performance training and coaching and mentorship in order to be connected to these types of people. And I really do know what works and more importantly, what doesn't. And people are so profound. That's why we have our Abundance Accelerator community, right? To support and guide you along the way in a community of like-minded people. And the third part of this third step is accountability. Really like strong accountability from the right people and the right structures. And the thing is, accountability is a success insurance policy. And there's different ways of being held accountable. But when you set it up really well for you, you will absolutely soar. So you've got to decide where you want to go and have the support system and the structure and the people and the accountability in place for you to get that. So just to recap, step one is knowing what your options are, knowing what the possibility could be. Step two is a sense of awareness, really know where you're at. This is your moment of truth. And third is know where you want to go and have the clarity, the plan, and the support from people and structures to get you there. These are absolutely profound. And I know we've covered a lot today. Okay, I've got some things in the chat. Let me go to the chat. It's hard for me to think two or three different ways at once. So letting go of that which no longer serves me. Yeah, and this could be a really, really tricky thing. When you do start to let it go, it might be scary at first. However, magic is going to totally happen. All my dishes means abundance of yummy food. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for the high performance pacing group. Beautiful. Yeah, I know. We've been really pushing you, Rick. So there is absolute value in this type of work. Now, I know we've covered a lot today. Ultimately, it really does boil down to you deciding you want a rich and fulfilling life. Like, have I decided I want that rich and fulfilling life? Am I willing to go for it? And some of you have answered this question 5, 10, 500 times. However, every time you make a decision, every time you make another committed decision, you strengthen your receiving muscle. You strengthen your abundance muscle. So I want you to decide. I want you to say it out loud, even if you're talking at your own computer to yourself or to me in the computer. I am committing. I've decided that I want more abundance. I want a rich and fulfilling life. Type it in the chat. Really start looking and thinking and feeling what that rich and abundant life would be like, because that's the very first step, and you've got to decide to claim it. Now, if you are successful on many fronts and you seem to have everything you want except for what you really want, even if you don't know exactly what that is, when you start uncovering what you really need, you're going to get what you really want. And if there is that something missing and you're ready to elevate yourself to your most rich and fulfilling life where you're truly going after your dreams, I invite you to book a consultation with me and really take a look at how the Abundance Accelerator mentorship program can actually help you make your next leap. I would love to have a conversation. It is not for everyone. It is for people that are actually ready to commit, for people that are actually ready to do the work, and for people that are ready to set that story aside, for people that are ready to set their limitations aside and go for something bigger, for people that are willing to make a leap. It's okay if you're scared. That's what we're here for. But we are here for you. And I would absolutely love to connect with you. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I will pop a link to my calendar in the chat, and we'll make sure that it is available on all our pages. It's also in the link in our bio if for some reason you have difficulties finding it. But we would love to invite you to have a conversation and really see if moving forward in a state of abundance, in a group of abundance, is for you. Because, like I said, abundance is not something that you need to apply for. Abundance is not something that you need to wait for. It's something that is present in your life now, and you can have more of it. And there is no reason for you to feel guilty about that. There's no reason for you to shy away from that. All you've got to do is claim it. All you've got to do is say, yeah, I want this. I want more out of life. I want more for myself. I want more for my family. I want more for the beautiful and abundant future that is before me. I've decided to claim it. I've decided to go for it. Yes, I've decided I want to monetize. Thank you. That's amazing, right? This is what it's about. So I look forward to chatting with you. And the consultation is absolutely complimentary. So there is no charge for this. And if nothing else, we will walk away and you will have a much greater awareness of where you are, where you want to go, and what your biggest gap is. Because until you know what that is, you cannot change it. So you have yourself a beautiful day. Start shifting yourself from that state of scarcity into abundance and go live your most rich and fulfilling life. And I cannot wait to support you along the way. I'll see you again soon. I'll be back.